Hello, yes, this is Zahra Sajwani. So I really don't know about these. I just read for my own research I was doing in Karachi about which religion, whether Shia is right or Sunnism is right. So now it's coming out through these ex-Muslim, Pakistani, Punjabi, I don't know who they are, atheists they become or God knows what. So now I just went on Exile Muslim and he brought out this hadith. I did not. But I'm bringing out my hadith and from my side, Imam Ali alayhi salam. Imam Ali has also said the same thing, which I found today that I don't remember if I found in any other ex-Muslim videos or live streams on YouTube. But oh people, women are deficient in faith, deficient in shares, and deficient in intelligence. As regards the deficiency in their faith, it is the abstention from prayers and fasting during their menstrual period. As regards deficiency in their intelligence, it is because the evidence of two women is equal to that of one man. As regards deficiency in their intelligence, it is because so Imam Ali, now I've done this before also on the live stream Facebook. Imam Ali is explaining the Quran ayats, why women first I don't know how to say it. Quran ayat, just a minute. Hello, yes, continuing, took a pause. So Imam Ali is explaining not from himself but the Quran ayats which say women should stay away from prayers and fasting during their menstrual period. You can find the Quran ayat. I searched for it, I couldn't find it on Google search. So someone, like for example, someone asks Imam Ali, why in the Quran does it say that women need to abstain, stay away from salat, prayers and fasting, Sawm, during their menstrual period? Imam Ali says, because they are deficient in their faith. Oh people, women are deficient in faith, deficient in shares. Remember, half the inheritance or whatever the thing is in the Quran ayat. Why is it like this? That women get very less of their father's inheritance, daughters get less than the sons, right? So it doesn't say that the sons, because the sons have to, men are the maintainers of women, and it is not compulsory for women to work in Islam, but the breadwinner is the man, he's the maintainer of the woman. There's an ayat there in the Quran. It doesn't say that. He said deficient in shares. Okay, so why is the Quran ayat, taking the Quran ayat and joining it, explains. Imam Ali says here, shocks us. As for the deficiency of their shares, that is because of their share in inheritance being half of men. Half of men, yes, half of men, not 1/3 or anything, half of men. So beware of the evils of women. Be on your guard even from those of them who are reportedly good. Reportedly in brackets. Do not obey them even in good things, so that they may not attract you to evils. Woman, Hawa. Hawa is another, we find about Bibi Hawa. She's the one who convinced Hazrat Adam to take the fruit which Shaitan or something told. Now I have to go to the Quran ayat again and see, because I get mixed up with the Bible and all that. Quran ayats. In the Bible, in the Quran, are we told that Bibi Hawa was the one who told him to take it, listen to Shaitan and take it. But anyways, I'm not with the Christians. I'm not putting the Christians down right now. So if you see, this is the thing. So I'm going to take a wait a minute. I have no agenda. I'm for the Hindus too. And if the Hindus you find now sick and tired of the Muslims, don't you think the Shias and the Shias were sick? We were really sick and tired of those extremist terrorists in Pakistan. So now you're going to blame the Shias. I don't know what Harris Sultan has on in his sleeve, up his sleeve against the Shias. And somewhere very funny, like I thought that in the first live stream, I thought that Amina Sardar, her mother had left her whole family had left her. And then when I go to another live stream with I love my mother and she's my everything, and I was like, huh? And once I did not get offended when she said, no, Zara, you don't need to get sorry. You don't need to say sorry to me. My father did, like when her father did this to her neck, caught hold of her neck for the lipstick. You don't need to feel sorry for me and everything. So I thought her family had deserted her, even her mother. Then in some other live stream with, I think maybe, I'm not sure, maybe with Kali Dasi, she says that her mother has backed her, and I was like, बहुत माँ की तारीफ कर रही थी, right? So I was like, what is this? There I understood that she doesn't like pity that she's crying and she let it be and all that, huh? Then I was like, so in the first live stream, she gave the impression to us that her whole family, she's alone in Denmark, and that even her mother is not with her, and has kept away from her. But if you look at if you watch her, so you watch her previous live streams, and then you watch Kali Dasi with Kali Dasi. You watch that live stream where I'm in there. I cannot tell you which one, long time ago, a few weeks ago. Okay? So, like, this Sahil ex-Muslim was going on trying to get, like, he was saying, okay, you all go, and the Fadi is saying, no, I don't want to go right now. I want to explain myself. I have to defend my, like, come on. Give me a chance to defend my religion. So you don't have to really say that, right? All you have to say to Fadi is that the only hadith we find which seems reliable, because Prophet Muhammad is explaining to the women or his wives about the ayats of the Quran concerning why they need to stay away from prayers and menstruation prayers and fasting during menstruation. It is an ayat in the Quran. This is how we can catch whether the hadith is true or not. Don't look at the narrator right now. Who is the narrator? What is the chain of narrations? What is the grading of this hadith, the Sunni source hadith? Or whether we should take the hadith or not. Do you get it? Okay, if you don't get it, I need help from Dr. David Wood. His English is really good. How he has to see. This Sunni hadith which Sahil has now given on his live stream, it's in Sahih Bukhari, right? If what Rasulullah was explaining had nothing to do with the Quran ayats, then we can say, okay, this hadith is cannot be under observation, like at least keep the hadith under observation. Why are women, what's the reason behind this? That women are supposed to, the Quran ayats, taking the Quran ayats, the two Quran ayats. First, the first one is, which one in Surah Baqarah? It is, let me show you. So, the testimony one. Surah Baqarah ayat, testimony. So how do I put this to search for it? Wait, I'll just come back. Hello, yes, here it is in Wikipedia. I will read it out because sometimes the thing that comes fuzzy in the video. Okay, here is important here. But, where is it? And get 2 witnesses out of your own men. And if they are not 2 men available, then a man and 2 women, such as you agree for witnesses. A man and 2 women. Right? So 2 witnesses are required. A man, 2 men. And if there's only 1 man, then 2 women. So 2 women equal to a man, such as you agree for witnesses. So that if one of them, 2 women, errs, the other can remind her. So we are forgetful, we are emotional, we are not rational beings, not as much as men are. Men are, things like that. Okay, wait. But what Rasulullah says is that in case of witnesses for financial documents, the Quran asks for 2 men or 1 man and 2 women. This is interpreted by a number of Muslim scholars so as to imply testimony of 2 women being equal to a single man's. Tafsir ibn Khatir states, Allah requires that 2 women take the place of 1 man as witness because of the woman's shortcomings, as the Prophet described in a hadith. On the other hand, Javed Ahmad Ghamdi writes that Islam asks for 2 female witnesses against 1 male in case of financial transactions as a means of relaxation of responsibility, as it is not very suited to their temperament, sphere of interest, and usual environment. He argues that Islam makes no claim of a woman's testimony being half in any case. Ghamdi believes that context, maybe I have mispronounced his name, believes that context and wording of the verse includes no hint of a legal setting. The verse states regarding contracts, witnesses be made in such a way, instead of the statement being regarding contract disputes, witnesses of such type to be called upon. Similar to how it is started in Quran for a verse 15 Surah 4. Before Ghamdir interprets the Quran verse as only a recommendation directed towards individuals, and it will be for the court judge to decide what kind and whose evidence will be enough to prove a case. Regarding the hadith that is used to prove the half testimony status, Ghamdi and members of his foundation, Al-Murid, argue against its reliability and its common understanding. Ghamdi also contends that the narration cannot be used in all general cases because it is related to the Quran verse whose subject is related only to financial matters. Another Pakistani religious scholar, this is the thing with Pakistani religious scholars. Shias are kafirs. This is the thing. Oof, these Pakistani religious scholars. Acha. Another Pakistani religious scholar, Ishaq, argues that acquiring conclusive evidence is important, regardless of whether it can be obtained from just one man or just one woman. ये खुद अपने वो दे. Okay. Now, for us Shias, Sermon 80 is enough from Najul Balagha. According to Hamdi, regarding the verse Ibn al-Qayyim, and Ibn Taymiyyah also held similar views to his. Okay, Taymiyyah, I don't know how old he is and how far he goes back. Al-Qayyim argued that verse relates to the heavy responsibility of testifying by which an owner of wealth protects his rights. So they don't want to, all this, you can read this. Whatever there is among the testimonies of women, which there is no fear of habitual error, then they are not considered as hafa. तुम लोग करो अपने Rasulullah criminal offenses as an extension to the limitation claimed in financial contracts. A significant number of conservative Muslim scholars also argue for discrimination against female testimonies in had and qisas cases too, not in ta'zir. In cases of hudud punishments for serious crimes, 12th century Maliki jurist Averroes wrote, this is a 12th century Maliki jurist, Averroes wrote that jurists disagree about the status of women's testimony. According to Averroes, certain scholars said that in these cases a woman's testimony is unacceptable. Who is deciding? Who are these people who are deciding for women? On what basis are they deciding? Furthermore, some hadith record, why can't the women come up and decide and ask Rasulullah? Where is Rasulullah? Respectively, because of the Caliph's assassination, Caliph Uthman's assassination, according to classical interpretations which disallow female testimony in hudud cases. Look at the various, who's deciding for us? The men are, not the women. Make a panel for women, bring them in, and let them also see this. And all these, what are these names? Whoever these Sunni Hadith sources are. Al-Murid argue against its reliability. Okay, if you argue against this and then you just make your own, where are you getting your own, you believe when you contract a debt for a fixed period, write it down. Let a scribe write it down in justice between you. Let not the scribe refuse to write as Allah has taught him. So let him write, let him, the debtor who incurs the liability, dictate, and he must fear Allah, his Lord, and diminish not anything of what he owes. But if the debtor is of poor understanding, or weak, or is unable himself to dictate, then let his guardian dictate in justice, and get 2 witnesses of your own men. And if there are not two men available, then a man, and two women, such as you agree for witnesses, so that if one of them, the two women errs, the other can remind her. So no woman can go into this contract, financial contracts, and we will need two women to give witnesses in financial contracts, you see. And so they have messed it up, and now they are coming up with the what, and before 17th century, and they are going on, and they can't, the one is saying this and another is saying that, and in cases of hudud punishment for serious crimes, okay, they've done this. And known as the Zahiris, believe that if two or more women testify alongside a male witness, and who is there sitting watching the moon now, moon sighting, are there any females? Have they kept in Pakistan any females, legal status, based mostly Sharia courts for had and qisas or qisas. Bahrain, Egypt in family courts except for divorce, Iran in most cases except ta'zir, Iraq in some cases, Jordan in Sharia courts for marriage, Kuwait in family courts, Libya in some cases, Morocco in family cases, though not for divorce, Palestine in cases related to marriage, divorce, and child custody, Qatar, family law matters, in some cases half and in had unacceptable, Saudi Arabia, Syria in some cases, United Arab Emirates in criminal matters and in some civil matters, Yemen in some cases half, and in cases of had and qisas unacceptable. Oh, I see countries where women's testimony is known to be equal to a man's in all cases. Algeria, Tunisia, Oman. Details. Oh, the women are here. What is wrong here? Based mostly on 2011 UNICEF. This is until now recently report partial list of countries where a woman's testimony is worth half that of a man. I mean, look at the countries here. Saudi Arabia, no, what is this now? Right to equal protection by law. BBC, we'll have to go to BBC and look at this. And some Pakistani Fadi or someone is coming on live stream and saying that no, women, you are, all this hadith is wrong, and what Rasulullah has said that men, after all, women are equal to men, and because they want to relax the responsibilities of the women, because some women they have to, this, and you can put your own this thing in it. You cannot convince us like this. Ghamdi is saying this, and Maliki is saying this, and then we come to the countries. What is this? And please leave the Shias alone.